Bench to be back in the stand, back in the place. 10 Lizzie right across, not 10, the 10 Roof, my apologies, right across the street, man, from all the action. You can see the Lion fans are excited to be here, and I'm excited. I think the Lions actually will upset the 49ers. Early prediction.
Well, that's kind of the big question. So we're doing this whole football pregame show. We're going to help people out with their fantasy picks, at least you guys are, and talk about the injury report and all that sort of stuff. But the truth is it's a whole new situation this year. Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes. And so, like, what are your thoughts?
And Jay, that's really what it's all about, too. In the National Football League, you can get really good really fast. That's just the model that the league provides to you. And I think if you look at this, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, a new regime with the Lions, I think this team can get good quickly. And by quickly, I mean within 3 years, I think they can be a playoff team. I think that's the way the NFL sets it up. So we're going to see some growth here. We're going to see some growing pains. This might not be the greatest year for the Detroit Lions, but if they're in every game, if they're playing hard, that's really what you want to see this year with this regime moving forward. And then, year 2, year 3, keep building up.
Yeah, Lions fans, we've seen no growth. And I think that's the big thing and the big problem for Lions fans and being supportive of the Detroit Lions is, no consistent growth. And then when you have something in there that looks like it may turn the corner, they're fired. They're moved on and the regime changes. So Rome wasn't built in a day. So we're not trying to build Rome in a day. What we're trying to do is we're trying to lay the foundation. And I think that's what Dan Campbell, I think that's what Brad Holmes are doing. Sheila Hampton Ford, they've done a good job of being on the same page and providing the pillars. So now we just try, like you said, see the growth. We see the identity play itself and just be strong, physical, disciplined. That's what we want to see in the beginning. You can control being a disciplined team. You can control being a physical-minded team and not making mistakes. Now, after that, the growth, adding players, trading, picking up free waiver wires, and in the years to come. But discipline and physicality is something that you don't have to wait for.
And one of the things, too, that you see with this Lions team, we've seen a million regimes over the past 60 years, Jay, Braylon. We've seen new general managers. We've seen new head coaches. But one thing we haven't seen in relation to that is we haven't seen guys working together where the head coach is on the same page as the general manager, where the general manager is on the same page as the president, where the president's on the same page as the owner. They're working in lockstep right now. And look, this is what Game 1, Week 1 is all about, excitement. And I think you can be excited about this regime and this version of the Detroit Lions.
I know that people are pumped, and if nothing more, they are so pumped to hear what Dan Campbell is going to say in these press conferences because he's been fun.
Soundbite City.
Yeah,
Soundbite City, dude. Like, that in itself has been so entertaining, and I think one of the other questions is Jared Goff. How do we
about Dan Campbell? Because it is so refreshing to hear him speak like that because it hasn't been like that with Matt Patricia in the past. So guarded, almost fearful. Dan Campbell wants to be one of the guys.
I think there's been some good people that have been Lions coaches, but they haven't necessarily been good coaches. I think here's what you find in Dan Campbell. You find a man that's honest and genuine. So he's a good person. Also, he loves the game. You have to love the game to be successful in it. So he loves the game. He's very authentic. He's very genuine. And I think he also has his pulse. He has his hand on the pulse of what could be the future of the Detroit Lions. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
And you mentioned Jared Goff, Jay. This is the first time we've had a starting quarterback not named Matthew Stafford in over a decade.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that is in and of exciting itself. I mean, Jared Goff, he's been to a Super Bowl. He played in a winning franchise with the Rams, and now he comes to Detroit where it's almost like he's been cast aside, Braylon.
Yeah.
But as a former player, that gives you a little bit of juice, doesn't it? Where it feels like the Rams tossed him aside. It feels like nobody's expecting him to do much here in Detroit. He's coming with some energy and some juice, isn't he?
Yeah, after having 16 touchdowns and, Pro Bowl 2007 with the Cleveland Browns myself, 08 was a rough year for myself as well as the team. 09 started off bad with Eric Mangini. And when they traded me to the New York Jets, kind of the same thing. They cast me aside, and it was like, we got rid of him. He was, a bad piece, or he wasn't what we thought he could be for the future. And then you turn around and 2 AFC championships back-to-back with New York, man, and big-time moments and big-time plays. It was a rebirth for me, and sometimes that's what you need. This can be a rebirth situation for Jared Goff because, they're giving him the keys to the city, essentially, and they want to see what he can do with it. So I'm excited to see what he does, and everyone needs a second chance. And, this is his, and he's not a bad quarterback. He, like you said, 4,600 yards.
We're doing our 30 seconds, right?
So who's going to tell me? I can't hear you, Maz.
I can hear Maz.
Maz, who's going to tell me when we go?
Kennedy is on.
Oh.
When she's done, she throws it to you guys.
I can't hear Kennedy.
Can I tweet? Are we live? Should I tweet it? All right.
Are you on?
Hello, check. There it is.
All right, we're going to continue.
Let's do it.
We're going to continue on here. We are downtown at the Tin Roof right across from Comerica Park. Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani with the bottom line here. It is the Lions pregame show. Braylon, one of the things coming downtown today is you see this sea of Honolulu blue and silver, and you see some mixed in red and white of the 49ers, and it is so good to see fans back at stadiums across college football, across NFL football. There is nothing like fans in the relationship with sports. We saw in 2020 what it was like without fans, and it's not very fun.
Yeah, also I think what's happened is you've seen fans show their butt around other arenas and stadiums in the country, and I think it's given us something to look at and what not to do, not wanting to be there, not wanting to show our fan base in a light like that. So I think Detroit fans are excited to be out. I can see it, man. I'm looking at them right now. They're eager to be out here, man. They've been to the Michigan game. They've been to Michigan State game. They've seen college football. Now this is a different level. This is the professional level. This is the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, man. This is a great team in the 49ers that could win that NFC West, which Maz always talks about being the best division in football. I'm excited, man. Like, I'm out here. It's nice. The sun is shining right down on Ford Field. It's going to be a heck of a day.
And one of the great things, too, about opening week is you do feel like you have a chance.
Optimism is key.
The optimism you have on week one is unlike anything that you have, moving forward.
You'll never get 0-0 again.
Right.
You'll never get 0-0, surprise, shock, ununderstanding, like injuries, anything, knock on wood for both teams. You'll never get that 0-0 start again. So it's always like, what could happen?
And we know here in Detroit, Braylon, I mean, you spent some time away playing, and you play in the National Football League for 9 years or whatever the case may be.
Just a little bit.
Right. So we were stuck here with some pretty bad football.
I've played against I've played against some of that bad football.
But nonetheless, these fans keep coming back, and I do think, we just mentioned it when we were on Riff. The new head coach, the new way of doing things for the Detroit Lions, even the new owner, and I will call Sheila Ford-Ham a new owner for this team.
Yeah, she is, because it's hers. It's her baby now.
It is her now. She doesn't have to answer to anybody. She moved her office in the middle of Allen Park's practice facility, whereas in the past, the owner office in Allen Park was totally separate, away from the football players, away from the coaches.
Almost as if to say, I'm too good for you. You don't belong around me.
At the very least, almost to say we're separate.
Yeah.
And now you are building a family, because I think one of the things with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn is they just really ruled by fear.
Yeah.
I think Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Sheila Ford-Ham, Chris Spielman, and the gang, they're building with inclusivity. They're saying, hey, we are one family. We are going to build this thing together. And I think everybody talks about Dan Campbell and the sound bites and the kneecaps and the Starbucks order and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they are building, Braylon, something that they want to call a family. And I think when you have a head coach, when you have an organization that you want to play for, you want to grind, and it's no different from a boss that you like.
Yeah.
Equate it to your daily life. If you have a boss that will do anything for you, you'll break your balls for that guy.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and if it feels like I'm yelling, that's because I am. Because I'm downtown at Tin Roof, man. We're down here, and it is amazing. It is rocking. The energy is here. And to go back to what you said is you can't rule by fear when you're paying people. Because when you're paying people, then there's no fear. There's no real fear there. When you rule by fear, it's when you hold something over someone. But if you're paying people, you can't rule by fear. So I think they've taken that initiative off the table. They haven't tried to go that way because it does not work. Like you said, they're ruling by community. Hey, we're a community. We're on the same page. We want intensity. We want discipline. We want no mistakes. We want, empathy. We want just a different vibe, man, and we want to go out there and get it. We don't want to defer to the Vikings and the Packers of the world.
Right.
And the Bears, like, yo, why not us? Just like Jared Goff said, and we talked about that soundbite. He said, why not us? Why not now? Why can't we win? And I think that's when you have your star player, which is Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions, and then you have your coach, which is Dan Campbell, and you have your GM, Brad Holmes, and you have your owner, Sheila Ford Hampton. When you have everybody on the same page, you've cornered every stone. Those are the four pillars. When you have them all, that's a championship winning organization.
And you do have some building blocks here, and we're going to get an evaluation on Jared Goff this year, as is the Lions organization. Is Jared Goff going to be the quarterback of the future? I think we'll learn a lot this year. You look at the wide receiving core, and it's probably one of the most thin units
in the history
of Detroit Lions football. Because look at the wide receiver group in Lions football. I mean, you're talking Herman Moore, Calvin Johnson. Brett Perriman, Johnny Morton, all these guys. Even Kenny Galladay.
Golden Tate.
Yeah, they don't have that guy right now, Braylon. But nonetheless, you're still going to have to play the games with the guys you got. And with that comes the evaluation of Jared Goff. You're going to have to figure out if this guy is the quarterback for you or he's not the quarterback for you moving forward. And one of the aspects of that is you got a pretty reliable guy in T.J. Hawkinson, too, that is a pass catcher that you can line up on the outside. So you're going to get a good look and a good read at Jared Goff.
And here's also another thing, Ryan, is, sometimes for the NFL's sake, you don't want to hear, we don't have this guy, we don't have that guy, or they just have a bad team. Because last time I checked, all these guys were all conference somewhere. They were all division somewhere. They were all American somewhere. Whether Division I, Division I AA, Division I, II. They beat out somebody along the way to become to where they are. They got in this chance. It's not easy to get to the NFL.
Yeah.
All these players got here. They beat somebody out. They did something well enough to get here, correct? So let's build on that.
Right.
Let's build on that. And let's stop making excuses for them. Like, are their names mentioned with Pro Bowl players? No. But did they deserve to be here? Yes. So let's look at that, man. And with that being said, I like what they're trying to build, and I just want to see it. All hands on deck. They had chances to put their pieces in play to get rid of the people that they didn't think belonged into the new Detroit regime. So I'm excited to see.
And one of the things that I'm excited to see, too, is what this coaching staff is going to bring, because we didn't see anything in the preseason. Everything.
Or anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just it. We didn't see anything or anybody in the preseason. So what are the Detroit Lions? Who are the Detroit Lions? I think you're going to get a good look at that here in week one as well against the San Francisco team that a lot of people are high on.
Yeah, I tell you like this: if you're gonna, if Penei Sewell plays anything like his brother did against Ohio State, like if he plays with that type of ferocity and that type of just aggression, like we're in for a treat with Penei and left tackle. We're replacing Tyler Decker today. I'm excited, man. I'm freaking excited, man. I think it goes back to, it's not necessarily about not knowing the players. It's about knowing how particular Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are. And by them choosing this 53, total 61, or actually, total of 82. With them choosing this particular it says a lot about these players.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned Penei Sewell because that's one of the storylines of today. Taylor Decker out on IR, out at least for the next 3 weeks, and it appears we're going to check in with our WSN Lions beat reporter Corey Woods coming up in just a little bit, but it appears that Penei Sewell will, in fact, get the start at left tackle. You know, he was drafted 20 years old, 7th overall pick in the draft.
Yeah.
He was a left tackle in college, but they moved him to the right side because they have a left tackle in Taylor Decker. It didn't look like he could play over there, and maybe he can, maybe he can't. That is yet to be determined. But with the injury to Taylor Decker, he's going over to the left side most likely, and I think that's one of those things that, hey, be careful what you wish for because he could perform there and never give that spot up.
Yeah, it's true. You know, sometimes your team, in terms of the coaches, the management, they have your best interest in mind. And moving him to right tackle sometimes might have been what they thought to be the best interest of the Detroit Lions. You move him to right tackle, you play Taylor Decker at the left tackle. But, you know, maybe that wasn't in the cards.
Yeah.
Maybe Penei Sewell is better fitted to play left tackle. Maybe he's going to show them something that they didn't know about themselves. I'm telling you, man, like things don't happen on accident.
Yeah.
Injuries, anything in life, little things don't happen in life. You know, the first time that young girl slapped you when you were 12 because you didn't know it, things don't happen for accident in life. This could be a great thing, and they're moving to where he feels comfortable. So he comes out week 1, and he makes us right.
Unfortunately for me, Braylon, that happened more times than when I was just 12, okay?
but you got it together. You figured it out. You got it together.
We pulled it together. What are you talking? My wife slapped me last night. No, I'm just kidding.
But keyword is wife, though. She's your wife now. You can deal with it.
Right? No doubt about it. It is so good to see. We are at the Tin Roof here in
and we got
downtown
Maz
Detroit.
here. Don't forget Maz here, too.
Maz,
We
how
got our
you doing
buddy
down
Maz.
there?
All right.
There he is.
What's happening down
What's
there,
going on,
Maz?
man? Talk to us.
Hey, man, we're just we're feeling our way through this first week here. And I love being down here. I love being down here with the peeps. Lots of San Francisco love down here, by the way.
Man, and legitimately, that's a 5.5-hour flight. I would know. Like, that's good to see. 5.5 hours, right?
No doubt about it, man. I've seen Jerry Rice. I've seen Bosa down here. Ayuk. You got Garoppolo jerseys. Deion Sanders jerseys down here.
For 2 seconds, when he was saying that, I know he's talking about jerseys. I said, shouldn't they be on the field?
Hey, Maz, Braylon had mentioned Penei Sewell most likely getting the start on the left side today. How about that for a 20-year-old rookie in week 1 to go up against Nick Bosa?
Oh, man. You know, they're licking their chops. And I got to say, I started the 49ers defense today on my fantasy team.
Oh, you traitor.
Sorry, man. I'm rooting for my Lions. I hope you don't get any sacks. But I'm digging it, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for some football. Hey, we got 4 games on TV today, by the way, too.
Yeah,
here in Detroit.
Doubleheader
A doubleheader.
Doubleheader day on Fox, doubleheader day on CBS. No doubt about it.
And tonight's game, don't forget.
You like that game tonight, Maz.
That's the Bears, right?
The Bears.
The Bears.
But we're having fun here. The joint pregame show. We're going to hop on Riff in just a couple of minutes.
You can't say joint too loud nowadays because, you know, it's recreational.
Well, everybody wants one then, right?
Because it's
legal.
recreational. You're seeing a change in a minute.
Right, no doubt about that. But we're really excited to be down here at the Old Shelley's right across from Comerica Park and, Ford Field along the way. The sea of people that you have down here. And, Braylon, I know you were in Ann Arbor last night. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes after our hit coming up with Riff. But it's just great to see the fans down. It's great to see people sitting around watching us in front of us and all the like.
People are excited. I would say that the Detroit Lions are definitely the #1 fan base that hasn't at least been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like just if you think in terms of, there's been some, like, the Buffalo has a great fan base, but they've at least been to 5 Super Bowls, 4 in a row and then 1 up previous to that. The Lions have never been to a Super Bowl, but they still have a steady fan base. So even though I'm not a huge Lions fan, I'm born in the city of Detroit, I would love nothing more but for the Lions to get to a Super Bowl so that they can pay the fans back.
What do you mean you're not a Lions fan?
I just never had. My dad played for the Houston Oilers when I was growing up. So I was a Houston Oilers fan, and then it turned into a Tennessee Titans fan and a 49ers fan. But,
How about the Jets?
Now I am.
Okay.
Yeah, now I am. Now I am. Of course I am. And I actually have a gift for you, but I'll give it to you on Monday.
All right.
So, Braylon, one of the things I want you to do when we go back on Riff here in just a minute is give us some keys to the game. Break down the game for us. How are we going to how are the Lions gonna, attack this game? Because I do think this is one they could pick off.
Prayers work.
Yeah.
All I would say is prayers work. Prayers work. So
hey,
I'm joking. I have more.
We had the Reverend of Roar walk by. So he did say the prayer today.
He did.
He did say the prayer. The Reverend of Roar walked by, and he was ready to go, man. He bestowed his prayers upon the Detroit Lions and us.
A healing hand always works.
Amen. He said, "Can I get an amen?" I said, "You can get
Hallelujah.
4 of them if you want."
Hallelujah.
No doubt. Very exciting to be down here.
Yeah.
Hey, it's tough to park though.
Well, I mean, you just got bring your wallet.
That's right.
Okay?
Yes, that's right. We're broadcasting live here for the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on the Riff. I'm Jade here alongside Ryan Armani and Braylon Edwards. You took the headphones off for just a second, but I made a cute little bumper for you. Braylon's breakdown
look at that.
on the Riff. And so we gotta have you as a former player. Give us the breakdown, like Ryan was saying. What do we have going on here today?
He's a lot smarter than me, Jade. He's a lot smarter than me. We don't need Ryan's breakdown.
No, because usually Ryan's breakdown is to be some form of a rant. Whatever he does, like it'll be some rant or something that he wants you to get aboard with. I think for me the key is everyone knows about Raheem Mostert and the 49ers rushing attack. The rushing attack is what kind of makes them who they are. It allows Jimmy G to make mistakes. It's what they were depending on for Trey Lance, kind of easing him into a potential starting role with a new franchise. So I think the Lions have the key on that. Like they know that they can make plays in the run game, but they can't overcommit to that because the 49ers also have rival people like Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is amazing from South Carolina, an amazing receiver. So they can't key in on the running game. And the biggest thing for the Lions and Dan Campbell, they got rid of a lot of players like I talked about. And I think that's because he believed in the players that are here, the discipline. Them players being able to make plays, to be focused, to be down there, to not make mistakes. The MEs, that's what you talk about. They don't want a lot of MEs. You don't want to cut mental errors during the game. If the Lions can stay within themselves and create self-inflicted negatives, which are sins in the NFL, we call them SINs, self-inflicted negatives. If they can stay away from self-inflicted negatives, they will have a chance to get this team because I'm telling you, there's a lot of back and forth with Trey Lance versus Jimmy G. The team, I've seen this before, team is going to be kind of one side with one quarterback, one side with another quarterback. It's a long flight. It's the opening game of the season. There's a lot of pressure on that NFC West. The Detroit Lions come to the game with not a lot of pressure because not a lot of people expect a lot from them. And you have a quarterback that's Super Bowl proven and a coach that's been there as well. So I think the Lions just stay in their lane, play their game, let the 49ers press. And I think it'll help them in the fourth quarter.
Let me ask you a question about that, Braylon. You mentioned a West Coast team coming east to play a football game. It is, and this might be a silly question, I don't know, but it is 10 o'clock in the morning out for the San Francisco 49ers when they have to play here at 1 Eastern. What effect do you think, what tangible effect do you think that has on a body clock for an NFL player who is so into their routines? Does that have any effect whatsoever for a West Coast team coming east to play a 1 o'clock Eastern game?
It definitely has an effect, and I would say it has an effect more on the team that's flying West Coast. I would say if the Lions were playing out in the 49ers, it would have more of an effect because the time zone changes. So as you're getting up to get warm, your body is like, oh, it should already be a certain time. I should already be doing this. So them coming over here by it being 10 o'clock, you're up. You're ready. You're kind of up and you're ready. But at the same time, it's still confusion to a certain extent. It's like 10 o'clock. It's like, all right, well, I'm up, but Am I up to play a game? Am I up for a 1 o'clock Detroit Lions fan base? The Honolulu Blues. Jay, go ahead.
Well, and I was just going to say, just to jump in, I can relate just from going to Las Vegas.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Jay, I was going to say that'd be like us doing a pregame show at 4 a.m. or something.
Right,
Hey,
we've done.
Can we hear some stories? You know we're on the radio. Don't tell too much.
Yeah. But I think there is something to say, just because as normal people going and traveling across to the other side of the country, your body is on that clock, and that does affect that. And so I guess we'll see. Hopefully we can use that to our advantage.
But again, for Lions fans too, one of the things that Braylon said is you can't beat yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the other team is good enough, right? You don't need to help them out with turnovers. Don't give them the football an extra 2 times than they absolutely need it, that they've earned. You know, don't be out there getting stupid penalties. You know, personal foul penalties, holding penalties, pass interference penalties. Don't beat yourself. If you cannot beat yourself, then you're going to be in this game to the end.
It's very similar to when we were watching, Ryan, and we talked about it with the Minnesota and Ohio State game last Thursday.
College football game, yeah.
Last Thursday, opening night of the season for college football. You legitimately see a team that's already struggling in Minnesota to beat a team like Ohio State. Just on the books, on the numbers, Ohio State over Minnesota. Minnesota plays a tremendous game, but why did Minnesota beat themselves? They fumbled twice and they threw an interception. You can't do that against good teams. Like, Minnesota had no business doing that, and that's why they lost the game. If the Lions have any chance of winning, they cannot turn the ball over against a team like this, because not only are they a good team, but they're a good rushing team, which means when you turn the ball over, you lose the time of possession battle because you may not get the ball back again.
Well, I feel like over the last few years, 50 maybe, the biggest thing like last season is the Lions defense.
Yeah.
Like, where are we stacking up on their
Great
specifically
question.
today on the 49ers on their offense? Because that's, I think, what has killed us in years past. Like, come on, defense, what are we doing?
It's a great question, Jade, and I think one of the things we're going to see today from the Lions is what this coaching staff's identity defensively is going to be. Do they want to pound? Do they want to go man-to-man? Do they want to pound you into the ground? Do they want pressure on the quarterback? Who is going to put pressure on the quarterback, and who is going to get after that football?
Yeah, I believe that the secondary is going to be the key to this defense. I promise you, I love Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator. He provides a level of been there, former player, former Pro Bowler, just a really good player. He provides that toughness. He provides that skill. He was a DB. I think that cornerbacks, I think that secondary will be the best position on the field. I'm telling you, like a sleeper for me was Armani Aruwariye.
You like him?
I love him. He's from Penn State. He's a great athlete. He's a great talent. Plays the game the way it does. He's an embodiment of James Franklin and what he's been able to do with Penn State the last 9 years down in Happy Valley.
The Lions have some names too on their roster.
Yeah,
like
and I got mine out the way. Aruwariye, Armani Aruwariye.
That's going to be one of the fun things to do this season.
I'm done.
I'm going to struggle with that.
I'm done. Armani Aruwariye.
We're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof. It is the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on 101 The Riff. I'm Jade with Ryan Armani and Braylon Edwards.
Yes.
Because it is the Rock and Roll pregame show, we're going to rock some Pearl Jam right now.
Let's do it.
101 WRIF live.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your
Kennedy's
phone or mobile device.
And you.
What's up, you guys? It's Kennedy from Woodward Sports.
I don't hear her.
Ton of Cuervo drink deals here today. So excited. I've got the enemy here with me. Tell everybody your name.
My name is Joe.
And he is a 49ers fan, clearly. How long have you been a 49ers fan for?
My whole life.
So what are you doing here?
88. Well, because, 1988. Well, traveling, obviously to the West Coast is a little harder. I don't like to fly. So anytime we come closer, I always want to make sure that we're here.
Okay, sounds good. So 1988 you've been a fan since. Yeah. So you've seen how many Super Bowls? 2?
I've seen 2, but we had 5.
Correct. And we have?
0.
It hurts, doesn't it? It's So are you expecting a win today?
I am. A heavily favored win, to be honest with you.
If you have to guess the score, what's it going to be?
37-10.
Boo.
Ouch. All right. Well, thank you so much, Braylon and Ryan. Back to you.
Oh, man, that was brutal there,
That was
Kennedy.
brutal.
I mean, come on.
But you have to be respectful that he came all the way out here for 49.
We love it.
We appreciate that he came out here
Very
from
good.
San
That
Fran
was great.
to support us.
Yes.
or to support the game. It was an interesting one, and I'm telling you, that's what you're going to see. No one thinks the Lions have a chance, because the defense of the San Francisco, led by Nick Bosa, is really good.
Yeah, I mean, Braylon, we make mention of that. We're going to learn a lot about Penei Sewell, how far, in fact, he has to go.
And fast.
No doubt.
Quick and
Oregon, Ohio State too, right? I mean, last night, Oregon.
You know what?
It's
Ryan,
that Oregon Ohio State matchup once again.
I have to give you credit because you've been mentioning how in college football it's the balancing of the playing field. It's starting to happen, and you're talking about win after win. And I saw another one randomly. I had to give you credit for. Notre Dame almost lost to Toledo.
I'm telling you,
it's going to happen.
Let's talk
Tulane and Clemson, Notre Dame, Toledo.
Let's talk some college football for a little bit, Braylon, because if you look around the league, I just think the landscape with all of these new quarterbacks, Notre Dame's got a new quarterback, Clemson's got a new quarterback, Ohio State's got a new quarterback.
Right.
I mean, you just don't rattle off unbeaten seasons after unbeaten seasons from all of these, for lack of a better way to say it, rookie quarterback. It's a wide open landscape. I mean, we talked about, and now I think you have to admit that Notre Dame win at Florida State doesn't look as good as it did a week ago. I mean, Florida State lost at home last night to Jacksonville State.
It says a lot about Notre Dame.
Now this Alabama, how good are they? It's probably Alabama and everybody else. But I think those mainstays that we've had over the last decade of Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame, I think 3 of 4 of those teams, 2 of those teams already have a loss in Ohio State and Clemson. Notre Dame will lose. Now, I don't know what to say about Alabama. They just look like they're going to truck everybody. But college football in 2021 is wide open.
I think what you're saying is, Matt, tell me if you agree. I think what you're saying in 2021 is the teams like Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, what they do is they tend to only have athletes for a year. After the transfer portal, they get out of there. Or they have athletes for 3 years, and they get out of there. So as fast as players are leaving, it's becoming a little bit harder to replace those players. Meanwhile, the smaller schools, they're getting JUCO transfers in, and they're adults, or they're staying 4 years and 5 years and 6 years with help. So you're seeing the congruency of a relationship between quarterback, wide receiver, running back, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and that's what you're starting to see in those smaller schools. Still Division I, but smaller. You're seeing like a congruency. You're seeing like a unification of who they are. Versus like, we got to replace another bunch of first-round draft picks, another bunch of second-round draft picks. And I think that's why you're seeing teams like a Toledo, or maybe Notre Dame's just not that good, but Toledo almost beat Notre Dame. Green Wave.
The Toledo Rockets had the lead in South Bend with 1 minute and 6 seconds to go.
The Green Wave of Tulane almost over Oklahoma. Like, you're starting to see that, and I think you know what, when you first said it, I said, this is just Ryan trying to create something, but you're almost been proven right.
No question. Hey, guys, I wanted to remind everybody, get down here to the Tin Roof. Come out and see us. Jade from the Riff is here. Ryan, Braylon, myself, and the rest of the WSN crew is here. We're giving away 2 front-row tickets to today's game.
I'm taking them.
The Lions and the 49ers. You got to come down here, say hi to us, tell us you want those tickets. Hey, if there's 20 of you here, we're going to pick the 2 nicest people out of the bunch. So get down here by noon, and we will give those tickets away. Front row, courtesy of Woodward Sports and Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men.
That is an incredible way to start the season for the NFL season here. Absolutely, it is the Lions and 49ers opening week here in the NFL. You mentioned college football too with
let's get to it.
Miami last night. The Alabama win against Miami doesn't look that impressive anymore. How does Miami they almost lost to Appalachian State yesterday. They win by 2. Manny Diaz is an absolute disaster there in Miami, I think. I don't know what's going on with the U, but everything I felt about Alabama and their win last week against Miami, I mean, Alabama's good, but my goodness, it doesn't look nearly as good now after looking how bad Miami was yesterday.
I would disagree with you. I say this is what happens with Appalachian State as well as Miami. Miami does this thing, and they've been doing it. Maz, I know you know what I'm talking about.
It's a 13-year jinx, baby.
Miami will have one good year, and they will fool you. And then they will come back with a completely terrible year. They will come back 2 years later with a really good year. And then some quarterback that you hear about, and you're like, oh, man, I love his story. I love what he's doing. I love the defense. And then they will fool you again. And then they will come back and have a good year. Miami has been doing this yo-yo type of thing for the last 10 years. Am I correct?
Listen, man, you know who's getting the Miami recruits now? They're not taking the kids they used to take.
No,
those kids
Ohio
are going
State
and Utah State. They're going out to Utah State.
Nice.
These kids from Coral Gables around that. I talked to a lot of people that know that U, and they want the old school back. They want the old U. They want the Catholics versus the convicts again. They want those years again.
Well, I mean, you look at the talent in the state of Florida, man. I mean, Jacksonville State just went in to Tallahassee and beat the Florida State Seminoles yesterday. I mean, when you're freaking Miami, man. You know what I mean? You're freaking Miami. Go get some talent and just go pulverize people.
But what I think you're seeing in Miami, and this could be wrong. This is legitimately an on-the-spot observation. All right, Miami was a very allegedly illegal team through all the 80s, the 90s, and even 2000s. Correct? We can at least say allegedly, and we know there's some validity behind that. All right, they were
allegedly.
They were exactly. We'll keep it in quotes. But they were allegedly, and that's when they were having their success. That's when they would bring in players and forget about this rule, forget about that rule, and bring these guys in. And that's when they were having their success. Now that things are kind of down by the books a little bit. And even with the NIL, like now things are really out in the open.
No doubt.
And truthful, I don't think they can have the same success as the University of Miami. They can't be that old Miami without being that old Miami.
Yeah.
And there's no room for that anymore in the country, that old Miami. And so I don't think you'll ever see that again. Now, because they are the University of Miami and they still are in Florida, as long as University of Miami is in Florida, they'll still have a chance to go out there. And they'll have a season here or there, but I don't think they'll ever be that old University of Miami with convicts and Catholics, like you said, or Larry Coker who comes in, or Butch Davis. Like, they won't be that type of Miami now because the playing field is level, and you can do all of that legally anywhere.
So talk to me about that block M that you have on your chest there over your heart.
Oh,
you were at the game last night. First and foremost,
I was there.
First and foremost,
don't talk about the offense, please.
Well, we're going to do that in a minute. But first and foremost, talk to me about the celebration of the 1980 Big Ten Championship game, the 1981 Rose Bowl when your dad's team was honored last night on the field. How great was that?
Yo, it was amazing. Like I said, and I told you on the show, all you want to do is be like dad growing up. Like, most boys want to be like dad. Most girls want to be like mom. But, you want to be like dad. Dad went to Michigan. I was excited to try to go to Michigan, and I did go to Michigan. And then they honored my dad and his 1980 Big Ten Championship winning team who beat Washington in the Rose Bowl January 1st, 1981. And my first touchdown was 20 years later against Washington. And, 20 years later for me and 40 years later for him, we're both honored. I'm just so proud of my dad and so proud of that team. Like, last night, it was really emotional, man. I almost dropped a tear.
Absolutely.
I almost dropped a tear last night.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. That's what one of the great things about sports, too, Braylon, is that emotional side of it.
Yeah.
And we got a big emotional side of it with the 9/11 and the big American flag in the middle of the field.
I got a picture
yesterday.
of that for you.
How great was that yesterday? What was it like being in the stadium for the national anthem on 9/11, the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and that big American flag filling the field? What was that like?
Look at that. What is that?
It's amazing.
What is that?
It's incredible.
What is that? I got the picture of it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing because I remember what happened 20 years ago on 9/11 when I was, freshman at Michigan. We couldn't play that game. We were supposed to play against Western. They moved the game back. Everybody else, we moved the game back a week. We had people on the team whose family was in the towers. Everyone got out safely and successfully. But I just remember that moment. I remember campus. I remember them closing classes down. I remember, being on a bathroom break at the Fishbowl. I know you know about the Fishbowl.
Oh, yeah.
I remember being on a bathroom break, and I saw people at the TVs, and then I saw what was going on. I told my professor, hey, I think you want to come out here. And, it was the best thing that 9/11 did, man, because it was a horrible tragedy. It's the worst tragedy that's ever befell us as America. but it brought us together.
Yeah.
Like that unity that it brought with, it didn't matter the color, ethnicity, the background, anything. Like we all were together, and for America and for ourselves as the human race. So, I would like that to happen again. But it was good. So they honored America. They honored my dad. It was a very American night, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think when you look at the Michigan Wolverines last night too, look, 31-10. They beat Washington. They beat Washington handily. And we're going to get back into some Lions talk in just a little bit here when we hop back on Riff in just minutes from now. But, Braylon, 53 rushes, 326 yards. It was an incredible rushing attack for the Michigan Wolverines again. And look, I don't want to be a terrible person here and just knock a W. I don't want to do that at all. But I don't think you can watch that game last night and not be somewhat concerned with Josh Gaddis's play calling and the appearance of a lack of passing attack with Cade McNamara. I just don't know what in the world was happening. 44 yards passing for the Wolverines last night. McNamara just could not. I don't know if he can't throw. I don't know why he doesn't throw. Yeah. Maybe they don't have anybody to catch it, but it wasn't a good look.
It's one of those things where you had success in the running game. It's 2 weeks in a row with over 325 yards rushing, and it bodes well for him. Hassan Haskins, and Corum, they figured it out. They have figured it out as it relates to blocking. Stuber looks amazing in the run blocking game. But the problem is you have to be able to pass the ball, and you have to address it. Like, you see what happened? I'll give you an example.
Yeah, give me an example.
Look what Michigan State did. Michigan State came out on fire in the running game, opening week with Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker, 263 yards rushing. But you see with this one, they still rushed the ball well. I think they had 171 or 156. But you see what they did in the passing game. They were able to get some elements of the passing game there. They were able to start to figure it out. Like we said earlier, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Sure.
But Rome was built a lot faster than they're doing up there in Ann Arbor in the offense. It has to be a unison. I know we lost a big one last week in Ronnie Bell, but we got to hurry up and replace him. And we got to be confident in the pass game, because if we're not confident early, then we won't be confident late.
And we hope to get back into some Michigan talk coming up. You'll join us on Mondays coming up at 2 o'clock. It is the Armani and Edwards Show.
It's the bottom line
on Woodward Sports Network, and we are going to take a pause just momentarily as we get ready to hop back on Riff. Lions pregame show, Riff. 101 Riff, and the Detroit Lions, Woodward Sports Network.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
All right, we're back. I stole your line. My bad.
We're back with the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on 101 WRIF.
Yes, that's right. We're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof. I'm Jade alongside Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards. We've got Tom Mazaway, Steve Black's hanging out here, and it's just a big old party. I hope you guys are having fun.
And the place is packed, Jade, and that's really what I am here for, is the party. And, of course, you've got Lions football just a little over an hour from now, the season opener. Just remember 2020, Jade, we did not have fans, and there was a big hole, a huge void in the NFL, in sports, and now that has seemingly gone away because the town is packed.
Yes, it is banging, and it sounds like we are going to be able to go check in on the field, actually. Which is, okay, I got the wink from Tom over here.
Oh, Corey's live, baby. Corey's live.
Jade, when you get the wink from Tom, that means everything is good to go.
Okay, all right. So we've got the thumbs up. Can we send it over to Corey? Corey Woods, right?
Corey.
Lions field beat reporter.
Yes, sir. Woodward Sports Network. Corey Woods, my friend.
My guy. What's up, Corey?
What's going on? How's everybody doing? Oh, man.
Hey.
You know what?
He might be talking.
He might be talking. Can anyone hear Corey?
I cannot hear Corey.
I just saw a hand go in the air, so we'll let them
We'll let them figure it out, and we'll keep going here, Jade, because it is game day. Lions and 49ers from Ford Field. Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, we've got Jade, and we're so happy to have this joint pregame show with you, Jade, because the excitement, you can feel it in the Lions football game here, Mr. Braylon Edwards.
Hey, pass me for a second. I want to ask both you guys. I want you guys both answer honestly as early as you can remember. What's your memory of Lions football? What is your excitement? On a day like today where you have first game of the season, the optimism is high, the hope is high. They're playing a great opponent in the 49ers, and it's just a beautiful day. It's beautiful people. What does it take you back to as a Lions fan?
When the Lions beat the Dallas Cowboys 38-6 in the NFC
91?
divisional round in 1991, I was 13 years old, and I thought we were going to the Super Bowl that year. Instead, we go to Washington and just get walloped in the NFC Championship game. But I do think
Mark Rippon.
Yeah, I do think Mark Rippon. That's right. I do think of those good times, and then there's plenty of bad ones too, Jade.
Only
good ones right now. Jade, it's on you. What's your good memory?
It's my first memory of actually going down when the Lions played at the Silverdome.
Oh, there we go.
My whole family went. My dad, through the company that he works for, they had tickets, so we took a Greyhound shuttle bus. They picked us up somewhere, and I had to be maybe 9 or 10 years old, and we all went down there, went on the bus with everyone that my dad worked with. The Lions, as I recall, did not win. They did not win. So that is, it is what it is. But just being down there with my family and my parents, and whether or not they win or lose.
Yeah.
We can talk all sorts of smack and what we think they should do, but the truth is we're down here and we're together, and that's the fun of live sports, right?
It is, and it's crazy that you say the Silverdome, because my memory is actually it's different than either one of you, because it's not a win or a loss. It's just the crowd and the environment. One thing about being young, I remember from the 80s, my father played for the Lions in '87, and then going down there, I was at WrestleMania 3, I was at the Monster Trucks, etc. in the early '90s and late '80s. But just being in that parking lot as you're walking up to the Silverdome, they're going to play. It's the largest stadium in the world. It's 93,000, and you're walking up, and you're seeing the tailgating, much like we're seeing today. And then you walk into those wind tunnel revolving doors, and you walk in, and the wind tunnel sucks you into it. So whoa, what was that? I think my story was too good.
The story was on fire, Braylon.
But just the early memories of that, and then Thanksgiving, you remember Jerome Bettis and the infamous when the referees stole that hit the tails from him, and we ended up beating them. Jason Hansen, Washington State field goal. But just walking into Pontiac Silverdome, and everything that became that, even the negative stuff that happened there.
Hey, let me get you, Corey sent some inactives for the Detroit Lions, because the inactives are out right now. They come out an hour and a half before the game time for the Detroit Lions. Levi Onwuzurike, the defensive end. Julian Okwara, the outside linebacker. Jamar Jefferson, the running back. Daryl Hodge. Tom Kennedy is inactive for the Detroit Lions, the wide receiver number 85 there.
That's Maz's
and
guy.
Guard Tommy Kramer of the 49ers among their inactives. Trey Sermon and Josh Norman.
Any relation to Eric Kramer?
I don't believe any relation to Eric Kramer for Tommy Kramer, the Lions guard. But nonetheless, so the inactives are out. Defensively, you got two guys there, Braylon, Onwuzurike and Okwara, who are out today.
Yeah, it's not boding well. What we talked about, one thing, and Ryan, you talked about on the show on Thursday, if I remember correctly, is the Lions being able to get out of training camp healthy. They were able to get out of training camp healthy. They were have to have the people that they want in training camp. Actually, you said it on Wednesday, because Taylor Decker, that thing happened on Thursday. So now you're saying from your comment, you're saying some injuries, some IR, some PUP, etc. That was the one thing the Lions had going for them. And, you got to have some cause for concern when you're not a team that people are high on anyway. And then you have injuries to the people that you need, the people that are part of your force and part of your structure. So, that's not going to bode well, especially against, a team that's coming in. And they know they're in a tough division. A team like the 49ers, they look at this as a must-win game because they're in a tough division.
Yep.
So that's the question then. You made an early prediction right off the rip when we started the show. You were like, the Lions are winning.
Lions winning, man.
Now that we've got the injury report, are you sticking with that?
Sticking with the Lions.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Jade, I cannot base that.
I can't even tell you why.
Anything analytical about sports. There's no deep sports sports knowledge. There's no stat that
Nothing
I'm pulling out of my behind.
Nothing.
There's nothing like that whatsoever. I am just going purely based on emotion.
I'm saying.
When you have a new coach, a new regime, a new quarterback, everybody.
Something's got to give.
And you've got a full stadium for the first time since technically since 19. I was going to say since 2019.
19 months ago. 19 months ago.
So, I mean.
I'm trying to make it work. 19 months ago.
I just think all of those kind of factors factor into a game like this. And I think because of the quarterback controversy a little bit that the 49ers have, you know, there's a Trey Lance camp and there's a Jimmy Garoppolo camp within that organization in San Francisco. And some little infighting and stuff like that. Lions are going to win today. That's my genius prediction.
You know what it's like, Jay? And I say this all the time. It's like when you and your boys, you know what I'm saying, or you and your girls, or you and your squad, when you go into a YMCA or you go into a gym, if it's Michigan, it's the IM building, or it's the CCRB, you go in there with your squad, or it's a Lifetime or LA Fitness, and you got your squad, and you guys are going in there, and you guys are a good team, and you're going to whoop somebody's butt on the basketball court, and you play a team of some ragtag players that cannot play, what you end up doing is you play down to the level of your competition sometimes. I don't understand why I couldn't make a layup.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I couldn't block his shot.
Right.
I don't understand how he shot a wide open two and knocked it down and they beat us. This could be one of those type games for the 49ers where they'll try to figure it out, play down to their level, and they do realize that we got a coach and we got a quarterback that knows what they're doing.
And by the way, quickly, the 49ers are an 8.5 point favorite in this one.
Right.
This isn't expected to even be close.
Well, we'll have to see. We've got just over an hour until game time down at Ford Field. The Lions taking on the 49ers. We're broadcasting live here at the Tin Roof for the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show. We're gonna jam out with some Soundgarden right now, and we'll be back momentarily once again live with 101 WRIF.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Commercials. And then
Detroit Lions, and we're talking San Francisco 49ers. And this offensive line situation that D-Mac just talked about certainly is a problem
if I'm not mistaken.
For this team. Taylor Decker sounds like he might need surgery on that finger. We've been talking about that and how that's going to work. But the 49ers, as I said, they don't care about that. And Nick Bosa's here. Well, they're not here yet. When will they get into town? Tomorrow? Tonight?
No, they're
Saturday?
Oh, I see what we were going to do.
Even on the cross-country trip?
Scratch that. So we're supposed to come back after the commercials. So we'll use that bumper.
You know, it's weird because we always gain 3 hours.
Right. They're always losing.
Yeah, and they're always losing. So, if anything, they might not do the walkthrough in the mornings, you know, or come in at 8. Do the walkthrough, have a meeting, do the walkthrough, probably leave out around 11. I wouldn't say 11. I would think.
Okay, so we're gonna have to probably drop because we got to get this third stop set, right? So play the sweep into spots after Soundgarden.
They might land, come here, go to the hotel, and have the walkthrough at the hotel.
And that'll probably take us to 11:58 ish.
Yeah, they are losing 3 hours.
Yeah. What's the path, D-Mac, for this? I mean, we've been talking about it, and look, the guys here, they have the 10-7 limo. I'm a bit more. I'm a bit more realistic in my assessments as what's going on. Is there a path? I mean, I guess because for me, how I judge success, not just in this game, but for the season for the Lions, how I judge success is by the Rams having a crappy record. For real, that's it for me. That's it.
So it has nothing to do with what happens with Detroit on the field, right?
No, I mean,
here's the one thing. We could speculate, we could say this, that, or whatever, but the 60 minutes is going to be played on Sunday.
The truth will be told.
We're going to sit here next week, and we're going to have a little bit, more of an idea. It won't be the full picture, but we'll have an idea of what they're going to try to do without Decker in there, how they're going to try to stop different things. I mean, I don't know. It's up in the air, but you're trying to look for some different signs. You mentioned what Aaron Glenn said, going up against one of the best play callers. And so there's little matchups, little battles, and it'll be interesting not only to watch, but to hear what these coaches say after that, what the speak is coming out of this first game. And, it's too early to tell. Now we just get to sit back and, decide if they're going to cover the 8.5 or not.
Yeah, and I'm overly simplistic. I'll be the first one to tell you guys that. I mean, when I was doing the read for Lady Jane's there, we said guys like things simple. That is me. That's me that we're talking about. I like stuff easy and simple. But again, for me, and I'm wearing it, I think, a little bit right now along the ice, says Neil, that's terrible. That's a terrible take. But look, here's how it works for me. This team's not going to the playoffs. Okay? I'm along the ice, I'm sorry, but they're not going for the playoffs. And the second you're not going to the playoffs, the objective for me is for your draft pick to be as high as, because that brings the most value to your organization. And coincidentally, they have the Rams pick for the next 2 years. I want the Rams to do poorly as well. I would say if you want me to narrow down to one thing on the field, it would be Sewell, Penei Sewell, and how Penei Sewell plays. And that's it, because he's going to be the franchise, right, Joy? He's a plug-and-play. That's what I was told. I was told it's a plug-and-play. You put him in this position for the next decade, you don't have to worry about it. That's what I was told.
That's what you were told.
That's what I was told. That's what we were all told.
I'm going to tell you right now, they got Bosa, signed that big contract. He hungry.
That's my fear, yeah.
Armstead, who else? Who do you want? What's the over-under for sacks? 5? I mean, it'll be.
They said Jared Goff better have his life insurance.
Yeah,
his life insurance policy on deck because they coming. So, and it's funny because we talked about their run game, but I don't think they're. They finished 15th overall last year rushing.
And then they were banged up.
Yeah, they were banged up, and then in this year and last year we finished with bottom 3 in rushing defense. And so, but understand it's a new season, it's a new day, it's new coaches, and it's a new mindset. So I'm excited to see what this team does. I'm not expecting anything. If they win, they win.
I guess that's my question. Like, if you're not expecting anything, how can you be excited? Because I keep hearing that word. Like everybody's I'm excited.
Because even you cannot expect anything, but still be excited because you're going to be excited to see where we are as a team.
Kennedy from Woodward Sports here in the Cuervo zone. I have a very special guest, the absolute legend of Detroit, Terry Foster. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you, and thank you for all the love and everything. I want to do something real quick that I never do. I want to give Braylon Edwards some love.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hey.
Yeah, he heard that. And this is going to be the first time since I've been Woodward Sports. I'll just say the big house was lit last night, and I'm sure they're all getting geeked up because of Braylon. Braylon and I had a discussion about how lame Michigan fans are, but they were not lame last night. That was pretty nice.
I appreciate the fact that, Uncle T. Foss said discussion. Because it wasn't an argument, it wasn't disagreement. It was grown folks having a discussion. But Michigan came through, and I appreciate you. But they came through for you. They heard you, so they came through.
All right, well, we've got Terry here to talk some Lions. Terry, I noticed that you're not in any Lions gear today. Why is that? And don't tell me it's because they're not going 10-7.
I do not own Lions gear. I have everything. I have Red Wings, Pistons, and Tigers. I refuse to buy anything with the Detroit Lions on it. In fact, a friend of mine bought me a Lions sweatshirt, and I only wear it when she's around because she said, you don't own any Lions stuff? Well, I'm going to buy you something now, and that's the only thing I wear, but it's a sweatshirt, and it's too hot for a sweatshirt today.
Well, I think I like your friend. All right, so we're in the Jose Cuervo zone. So, Terry, I want to know, if you had to drink a touchdown tequila sunrise from Jose Cuervo, for every touchdown that the Lions scored today, how many would you be drinking?
Oh, that's a good one.
2.
2 touchdowns from Terry Foster. All right, you guys, back to Braylon and Ryan.
Here's a good question about that, T, and because I think that's actually a good projection, but is it offensive touchdowns or touchdowns, period? Because Ryan,
that's a great question.
Ryan, if he says touchdowns, period, I gotta say T. Foster's wrong. I think we scored 3 total touchdowns, 1 defense, 2 offense, and then we have a couple field goals.
That's not a bad way to look at it, Braylon. And Kennedy, you're doing a great job back there. I don't,
he's killing it back
now.
there.
Is Kennedy? Is Kennedy? Is it part of the? Is it part of the experience, Kennedy, where you get to drink all the Jose Cuervo as well? Is it part of the experience where you just get to sit back there and drink all day?
I think we gotta wait till she puts her headphones on.
I mean,
she can't hear us right now. So I'm a delay right now.
Well, I was
Stream, Ryan.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
there you
I was
go.
gonna say now, as part of being in the Jose Cuervo zone, do you get to drink all the Jose Cuervo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will be partaking, Ryan. Don't you worry.
Okay,
if I have to guess, Lions are getting at least 3 touchdowns. I will be drinking at least 3 touchdown tequila sunrises from Jose Cuervo.
Kennedy, hey, we're teammates now.
We are teammates.
We're teammates now, so please, don't forget about your boy Ryan over here.
Hey, the game starts at 1,
I
so
get
let's wait till the game starts before we start getting on this Jose Cuervo.
I get thirsty too, Kennedy. All right. But we are live here at the Tin Roof. It is
some Michigan stuff, man. Let's talk about last night.
You want to talk about the Michigan game? Let's do it.
Terry Foster brought it up. Last night was amazing. I was there. It was very electric. The atmosphere was – you can tell that Michigan was starving for that atmosphere to show what they could do in a big game. I'm talking about the fans right now. You can tell that they were starving to be there, to support, to be loud, to make noise, to sing the songs and yell when they were on offense and yell when they were on defense. It was a really good environment. It was great. My dad got on there, like I said. But the excitement was there. This is what you want to see. Like, this felt like what we knew Jim Harbaugh was capable of bringing to Ann Arbor.
But again, okay, so I'll start with the positives. The running game offensively looks very, very good.
Yeah.
The running game looks very good. The defense looks very, very good.
Aiden Hutchinson, 2.5 sacks on the night. His father is honored. Come on now. That's huge.
That guy might be one of the best players in the country, period, regardless
Mel
of position.
Kiper has him the number 1 DN in the country.
Yeah, regardless of position, just talking about players.
Yeah, I agree.
But, again, I'll go back to the passing attack. Are you concerned at all about the Detroit Lions, the Michigan Wolverines passing attack?
I'm concerned about them, too. I'm concerned about the Lions, too.
Yeah, right.
No, and what you want to see from Michigan, you want to see kind of like what the Michigan State Spartans did. You want to see what the Michigan State Spartans did. They ran. They have Kenneth Walker, like we said. He rushed. He still had another 155 yards. Their backup running back got 177 yards. So you want to see that because then they transitioned. Peyton Thorne had 299
Can I stop
yards.
you for a sec here, Braylon? Walking behind us now is this contingent.
It's a mob
of San Francisco 49ers.
It's a 49er mob.
I mean, holy cow!
This is.
Can you believe this?
You can tell that away visiting fans miss being in the stadium just as much as home fans.
I mean, they are here in full effect. I have never.
Jay, what do you think? You got to jump in. What are you seeing right now?
Stop, and so they're here. They're ready to rock. Apparently, a lot of San Francisco fans.
I
might have to change my bet, man. Jesus.
I've been here my whole life. I have never seen
this is a mob.
A visiting mob like this just walk around the stadium.
Yeah, they came like they're like bulldogs, man.
Oh my!
That was amazing.
God.
I've never seen that myself. That's amazing.
But Mads, it's not stopping.
No.
It's still going. I'm still looking. It's still going.
We need the Reverend of Roar here, and we need our main man, Crack Man.
We're gonna rejoin Riff momentarily. Stay right here, Woodward Sports Network.
It's the bottom line, Armani and Edwards.
Yeah, we're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof for the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on the Riff alongside Ryan Armani and Braylon Edwards. My name is Jade, and we were just talking on Woodward Sports, which you guys can actually stream that. We have it up on our website as well at WRIF.com. But there was just, I mean, how many San Francisco fans just walked by us?
Jade, I'm 42 years old. I've lived here my whole life. Tom Mazaway.
Couple hundred.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We're live.
Several hundred 49ers fans.
They're still coming.
Doing a lap together almost around Ford Field and Comerica Park. waving hello to the Detroit Lions fans. And I wasn't saying the 5-finger wave. It was the 1-finger wave they were walking around.
And you know what's good about that is, we've seen and we've heard, in the last 4 or 5 years that the numbers and attendance has gone down in the NFL. And the NFL is no longer like it once was, which was a dominant juggernaut in professional sports nationally as well as internationally. Like, you're seeing it again. Like, is this not proof that NFL is back in a major way? Like, I'm still watching people come up from the 49ers sideline, man, and just be excited to be here and be in Detroit. So I'm excited. I think NFL is returning kind of to where it was way head and shoulders above all professional sports.
It still is, Braylon, in my
You're seeing it right here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, one of the best things is going to another team's stadium wearing your gear. I went and saw
some S.
I went to the Link in Philadelphia, watched the Lions play the Eagles, and we won. And that was my whole family. I got a ton of family from Philly, so
wow.
That was one of the most fun times I've ever had. And to be honest with you, everyone's like, Philly fans, man, they're brutal. They were so nice. They were so nice.
Was it Lincoln? Was it Lincoln
Yeah,
Field?
Lincoln Financial.
You should have went to the old Veterans Memorial Stadium where they had a actual jail cell
in
the basement.
Oh yeah, for the
that was the
unruly
real
fans.
Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Is that the end of Dick Vermeer?
That's right.
There we go. I know a little something.
Jade, as
Vince Papale.
That's it.
There we go.
Jade, as you
Mark
mentioned,
Wahlberg
I don't think I've ever gone to a Lions game on the road. I've gone to several Tigers games on the road with my Tigers uniforms, but I don't think I've ever, in fact, it's not. You could take the word think out of it. I've never been to a Lions road game before.
Not even Steelers?
Not even Steelers, not Bears, not Packers.
We'll run that up the chain. Maybe we can take this show on the road to Chicago.
Let's do that.
Here's a good question. Do I get credit for not necessarily going to one as a fan, but I played in a game against the Lions that wasn't here? Come on.
You get credit for a lot, Braylon.
Not that I don't get not that one. That's not I get credit.
Well, we got to look at the DraftKings Sports Update. So we need you guys to give us some must-starts for fantasy football.
Okay.
You're going quarterbacks. Obviously today, like let's say you've got Jimmy Garoppolo or Goff on your team. Who are you starting?
I think
Trey Lance.
The backup quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers.
If we could.
Yeah, if you could. Look, if you're playing a Lions player today, I think it absolutely has to be DeAndre Swift. Right? DeAndre Swift is going to be the bell cow for the Detroit Lions. I wouldn't start Jared Goff. I wouldn't start a wide receiver on this team. But 2 Detroit Lions, I'll give you. T.J. Hawkinson, the tight end. He's going to get about 10 balls thrown his way. Will he catch 10? I don't know, but at least he's going to have 10 opportunities to catch a football today. And DeAndre Swift is going to have 20 touches.
I like Tyrell Williams today.
Whether that's in the passing game or handoff. So those guys specifically. And, one of the things with the 49ers, they're a running team, Jade, but they throw the ball all over the place. So I don't think they have really true fantasy value outside of George Kittle, their tight end.
Yeah,
start their defense. I'm telling you. Start the Niners defense today. That's my pick of the day.
Just the whole entire defense.
Well, you have to pick a defense.
Well, yeah. That's right. That's right. So I did one fantasy football league with my girlfriends a couple of years ago, and we don't do it anymore. I was the commissioner, which was not great either. I was supposed to put this whole thing together. No one ever set their lineups, and if you don't set your lineup, what's the point of doing it? You know.
Braylon, if you're playing a DraftKings lineup, though,
am I talking about the Detroit Lions or am I talking about the NFL?
No, well, if you got, give me whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, if I'm looking at I'm looking at my list. If I'm someone I'm betting, I would bet on starting the receivers for the Tennessee Titans.
A.J. Brown
as well as Julio Jones, and Derrick Henry if I'm the running back. I would start him as well, and Tannehill at quarterback. I'm looking at Arizona. Arizona defense isn't that good. Chandler Jones has been the guy for them, but there's been some contract disputation with him as well as the Cardinals about him getting out. So don't look for that Cardinals team to play that good. They're at Tennessee. Tennessee is looking to establish what they do. Bet on all the offense for Tennessee in that game. I like the Washington football team as it relates to Fitzmagic.
Football team, baby.
As it relates,
I'm telling you, that is the best team in
football team. Football team.
Gross.
Football team.
Make me puke.
Oh man.
Fitzmagic
Love
is always
football.
Red Wolves.
Fitzmagic is always very good early on in the season, no matter what team he's playing with. You look at what he did last year; he was 5-1. and then got replaced by Tua. So Fitzmagic is always hot in the beginning of the season. So if I'm watching a football team, I start him as quarterback if he's in your league. Cleveland and Kansas City, who Maz and I know is the best game, you got to have all the wide receivers, Njoku at tight end, Baker Mayfield at quarterback for Cleveland, because it's going to be a shootout. But here's the difference. Cleveland's defense is actually better than Kansas City's. So I would choose Cleveland's offense. I will love Baker. I will love Odell in the back game. And, yeah, Odell in the back game.
Can I give you one running back to play in the NFL today?
Absolutely.
Nick Chubb.
James Robinson. Jacksonville? At Houston.
Yeah.
Watch him.
I got one fee from Jacksonville, too. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, rookie coming out party today, #1 pick in the draft. If he ever was going to have 4 touchdowns in the game, this is the one.
Can I give you one sit-em? Kenny Galladay ain't going to do nothing for the Giants today, and I use it for effect.
He's had a hamstring the whole time.
He better do something on that tremendous deal they pay. I got somebody that's not going to do anything. I have someone that's not going to be anything.
Don't even say it.
It's going to piss him off.
It.
Man, you know who it is. Jameis Winston isn't doing nothing. Jameis Winston isn't doing anything.
Jameis Winston going to throw 4 touchdowns. They're going to eat that W.
I'm sorry, touchdowns doesn't
Hey, show Jade how he eats that W. Show him. That's what Jameis does.
Oh, you guys are having way too much fun over there. So that's your DraftKings. This is that's what we do, absolutely. So this is the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show here on the Riff. Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, we got Tom Mazaway, the whole crew down here. My name is Jade. We're going to take a quick break, so hopefully you guys were tuned into that. They gave you all your picks for your fantasy football team. We're going to be back here live from the Tin Roof in just a few.
James Robinson.
We may be better at drinking beer.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What's up, you guys? Kennedy from Woodward Sports here in the Jose Cuervo Lounge. I've got my friend Anna here. She's a big TikToker. Plug your TikTok really fast, Anna.
What's up, everyone? This is Anna. My TikTok is AnnaRobXO.
She does a bunch of TikToks about what's cool and what's hip in the Detroit area. So she knows what's good when it comes to game days. So, Anna, if you had to plan out your favorite way to spend your game day, where are you pre-gaming, where are you watching the game, and where are you going post-game?
All right, I'm starting out with breakfast at Central Kitchen and Bar in Campus Martius. They do bottomless mimosas. That's always the go-to. Tin Roof is absolutely next. You can't see it now, but you can hear it, and it's lit. After that, I'd probably go to Greektown and tailgate with some people. But that's the vibe.
That is the vibe. All right, Anna, if you had to guess, what do you think the score is going to be today? Are the Lions winning?
They are winning. Score-wise, I don't know. Maybe like 21-7.
Okay, I like it. I don't know. We'll take it. All right, back to you, Braylon and Ryan.
All right. Thanks so much, Kennedy. You guys are having some fun over there. And Anna's TikToks are really good. I can't hear myself right now, but hopefully I can
hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy.
Okay. I cannot hear myself, but I'm going to just keep talking. So I want to look around the National Football League and around the NFC. If I could, there's some really good games today. Now we're hearing her. The Minnesota Vikings at the Cincinnati Bengals today. Minnesota Kirk Cousins.
Put this on.
Really wanting to come back this year. The NFC North. I don't know if they are.
Whenever. Who are we going to give them? You have anyone I can give them to? Find someone.
I'll go find somebody.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Guys,
I'm having a hard time.
We cannot hear each other.
All right, I'm having a hard time hearing you, but I'm gonna jump in. You tell me where I'm wrong or where I'm right. I'm looking around. I'm looking around the NFC North, and I'm looking at Minnesota against Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they're coming off Joe Burrow last year, season-ending injury with that ACL. They drafted some other LSU wide receivers to kind of get him back on track, give him some sense of accountability. So, watch out for them. But I like Minnesota. Minnesota led the league last year in points scored, total offense. They led the league last year. Look for Minnesota. They revamped their defense. They got rid of Everson Griffin, kind of short up for some newer defensive players. So look for them to win that game. Someone started off. Green Bay and New Orleans, man. You've been talking about it. You like Jameis Winston. Aaron Rodgers, he's down, one guard. Right guard's not out. He's out this game. It's going to be very interesting. But I just think that Aaron Rodgers has to assert his dominance, and I think the Green Bay Packers as a group have to assert their dominance because with everything that they did in the offseason, to be back in the space that they are in now, I think they have to start off positive. It's almost like you got to do it, so they're going to do it.
There's no doubt about that, and I think we're looking at a big year for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers,
especially with an extra game too.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. And week one here, as we look at the New Orleans Saints, Braylon.
Oh, Lord, here you go again.
Well, I'm just saying that this is a team that was in the NFC Championship game last year. Drew Brees has retired and gone into the broadcast booth. Michael Thomas is
Wasn't
out.
bad, by the way.
He was pretty good.
He brings some energy. You saw he struggled a little bit early on, but his energy is good, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So Green Bay is going to be tested right off the bat.
Yeah. Now, Green Bay's going to be tested right out of the back, but it bodes well for them because I think this is game one, and not only they're going to win, they should win, but it is a test, though. They have to go down to Duval. They have to go to Jacksonville Stadium because of, Hurricane Ida. They aren't able to play in New Orleans this first game, but they will play in Jacksonville Stadium, so it is a travel game for them, but they're still going to be able to win. They'll win that game. Oh, look at that. Good catch.
Good catch. Oh, you've done that before.
If you guys are listening to us, you can't see us. I just caught my notes on the game in mid-win. But, I think it's going to be a good win for Green Bay, and it'll be a good starting game to fill themselves because DeMario Davis and Cameron Jordan and DeMario, those are still really, really good defensive players, Pro Bowl players, and they lead that defense. That's not bad, as well as the president of the NFL Players Association, which is Malcolm Jenkins.
You're the real MVP today, Braylon. I just want to tell you that. Chicago on the road at the Rams. That's going to be the Sunday night game. We're going to see Matthew Stafford playing in an NFC.
But they played themselves because they're starting Andy Dalton. That's why I think it's a blowout.
An old NFC North Division rival in the Chicago Bears. So Matthew Stafford can help the Lions out.
Hey, he gets a national game. Yeah. How about that?
How about that, man?
He gets a national game. He's never had any national games. That's what he said, right?
Yeah, he was complaining.
Poor guy.
Terrible.
He's never had any national games.
I tell you what, he better show his national butt. That's all I'm saying. He better show all of it.
I love him tonight, by the way.
He better show out.
You love the Rams?
I love the Rams tonight. I know Khalil Mack's going to want to get a piece of him.
Problem is the Bears always start off strong. You remember that infamous Monday night game against Green Bay a couple years ago? Start the season, they start off strong. So look for them to start off strong but not finish well. I got Chicago winning by field goal.
You got Chicago winning the game tonight.
By field goal. I do.
That's something because I just don't see it. I
follow trend.
I think Andy Dalton is one of the worst players.
You still got Khalil Mack. You still have Khalil Mack. And the good thing about it is Matt Stafford is very familiar with Khalil Mack by him being in Chicago. So with that being said, he'll get re-familiar with him in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So we'll see tonight. There's no doubt about it. The Chicago Bears at the Los Angeles Rams. Is there any other game in the schedule that piques your interest, Braylon?
Yeah, I do have. Looking at the schedule, I gotta find it. The Monday night game actually is interesting.
You liked earlier in the week.
That's the Raiders and Ravens, man. It's going to be a good one.
The Raiders and Ravens is an interesting one because of all the injuries that the Ravens have, and then everybody consistently writing the Raiders off. What John Gruden has done, John Gruden hasn't done what people thought that he was going to do in the management and the front office of the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. So a lot of people are writing the Raiders off this year. This could be a good year for them. This could be a good game to kind of set the tone, man. It's going to be interesting.
9 games on the 1 o'clock window, 4 games in the 4 o'clock window. You get to see a lot of NFL football today. 2 games on Fox, 2 games on CBS, and then, of course, the game tonight on NBC.
Remember the old days? if the Lions were home, that's it. You
it.
get that game and you get one at 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Now it's like a free-for-all.
Well, that's the way it should be.
I love
really.
it.
I mean, if you want to, there's no reason anymore, in my opinion, for blackouts.
No.
There's no reason anymore for, well, if your home team in this market plays in this time slot, then you can't have. No. Give me doubleheaders every weekend.
Each channel should have a doubleheader.
Yes.
Everyone. And you know what? DirecTV's had the NFL ticket for years.
The red zone
the rumor is
the best thing going.
The rumor is Amazon gets it next season.
Really?
Yep.
Well, they can buy anything they want.
They can. That would put DirecTV out of business, by the way.
You think so?
Oh, God, yeah.
They're right there. Like, Xfinity and Comcast is darn near finished the job, to your point.
Yep.
Taking the red zone from them and the NBA package.
Yep.
Taking those packages and all the 13,000 ESPN channels there are, they'll be out of business.
If you have DirecTV stock, I would sell it right now.
I would have been sold it. I would have been like once Infinity came out with the remote, you could talk to it.
Oh my God, that's like a game changer.
You know what is a game changer as well? Like this heat, by the way. I mean, when you think of football, and we're going to talk to Andy Isaac, World of Isaac, the Sausage King of Detroit, in just a little bit.
That's a heck of a name.
But when you think of football, when you think of fall, I mean, I was ready to go home today and make some chili or make some chicken soup.
You got hot on you, didn't you?
Or make some big, thick bolagnese sauce. Or go
Oh,
crazy.
that sounds good.
Man.
Drake has a song, by the way, featuring spaghetti bolognese.
Here he goes with Drake again.
But I was just saying, Drake has a song where he mentions spaghetti bolognese, you know what I'm saying, in the Polo Lounge.
You know what bolognese is?
I do. My coach, George Sahady, Bishop Gallagher. Rest in peace. He used to take me all the time.
Meat sauce, baby. Meat sauce.
My best was, what was my favorite he used to make?
But it is so hard, as you think of it, it is so hard to eat like that today.
You can't.
And I can't wait to talk to Jade about this when we rejoin Riff.
I just closed my pool yesterday, for crying out loud.
Oh, my
I wish I could go home and take a dip.
We still didn't get that invite, by the way, me and you, Ryan.
Oh, man, next year. That's 2020.
For sure.
I got to shave my back before I can go to Maz's.
I got no invite over here.
Theirs a lot easier.
I got to give my back a look before I get in there.
What about this concert, man? We have Woodward Sports on Joey Radio on stage right now. Congrats to him. He just got married 2 weeks ago. Look at him enjoying himself with the Lions faithful, man. This is
By the
sight
way,
to behold.
Adam B. is out there in the stands. He has found us a winner that we're going to give our front row tickets out to here for the Lions and the 49ers.
Where are they?
Adam's going to find them and bring them on over.
Oh, great.
We have a winner.
That'd be great. That'd be great. We are less than a minute away from rejoining Riff, too. So if you're watching on our Woodward Sports, my man over here, this is a former intern of ours at another place that I work at. He's the man. He's the man. We appreciate it. We see a lot of people over there. Yes, thanks for coming out, everybody. Go blue. Braylon getting some
Go blue. Go blue.
We're gonna just kind of stay quiet here for about 20 seconds till we rejoin Riff here, okay? Go ahead, Braylon. Well, Braylon, we got to do a Riff hit real quick. Yeah. You can't go anywhere just yet.
Braylon, you need a tether. You need a tether.
If you like beer, football, and rock and roll, you've got it on the right station. This is the Rock and Roll Pregame Show on 101 The Riff, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app.
Yes, that's right. We're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof. My name is Jade, alongside Ryan Romani and Braylon Edwards for the DraftKings Rock and Roll Pregame Show. We've got Tom Mazaway here, and we have got just a lot of somebody's yelling front row tickets.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
So Jade, we're giving front row tickets away. 2 front row tickets
Here
away.
on
We're
site.
doing that right now here on site.
Excellent. Well, good luck and have fun to whoever wins them.
I mean, they almost feel like Santa Claus on mornings like that. I'm telling you.
You know.
So can you imagine just coming here to the Tin Roof, being like, oh, we'll go for the party. We'll go check out the 101 Riff and Woodward Sports Pregame
Oh, and by
show.
the way, we're going to end up going to the game, too.
That's great stuff.
It's like that Christmas morning where you've been looking for the kids' gifts. Like, you've really been searching, like, everywhere, you know, the one that they really want, like that action figure or that doll or whatever it is nowadays. And you just can't find it. You can't find it. You give up. And then all of a sudden somebody bumps into you and it was, oh, were you looking for this? I was looking for that. I was looking for tickets to the Lions game.
Yeah, so earlier you guys were mentioning It's fall, right? It's supposed to. Fall is right around the corner, actually, about a week away the first day. But we know here in Michigan, you can't jump the gun.
After Labor Day, I consider it fall.
Yeah.
And I want that weather to turn so bad, Jade. I was so excited for the home opener because one of the things that I wanted today was I wanted to go home after the show. I wanted to make some chili. I wanted to make a thick bolognese sauce. I wanted to eat some wings and do all that. It's like 87 degrees.
I wore a long sleeve shirt. What was I thinking?
I have no idea.
I love it because you were in apple orchard mode. You were like Franklin and Spicer, but here and Blake's apple orchard. You were in apple orchard mode, but here we are, 87 degrees, and I'm glad I wore short sleeves.
Hey, Lion season is apple orchard season, isn't it?
It is.
Don't we go there on Sundays?
It's the
once
best.
the mid-season hits.
Listen to this guy, Jade, over here. I mean, Tom Massaway is talking about going to the apple orchard. Come week 4 of the season, right? Is that what you point to, Matt?
Of course.
Week 4?
Week 4 let's go to the apple orchard.
I was just gonna say I feel like this whole crew out at the apple orchard, that would be a sight to see.
Well, I've been going to apple orchard my whole life, man. I know about Spicer, Blake's, Franklin.
I would just go for the donuts.
And the donuts are good, man. But
I
love
hard cider.
I love.
Who doesn't love donuts and cider? Actually, Ken, our on the Rift side, who's helping set this up. He used to work at an apple orchard, so he has got some stories.
Oh man, they work hard too.
There's one in Fenton right off of 23. Can't remember. It's another good one, but I love apple.
There's plenty of them, but again, we keep saying it, but I think it is worth repeating how great it is to see this scene in downtown Detroit once again.
Yeah.
Major event, and by major event, the Detroit Lions would impact 70,000 fans in their stadium. It's a major event. We have not seen a crowd like this in Detroit.
In over a year.
In over a year. Now, Ann Arbor had over 100,000. And
I was there.
East Lansing had over 80,000 yesterday. But here in Detroit proper, we have not seen a crowd like this since 2019. It'll be the largest crowd.
Yep. And what's so great about it is I talked to, before we started the show, like I told you earlier, I've been down here since about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
That's a joke. I just was so nervous.
It felt like.
It's what it felt like. But there's a lot of people that are here that are not even going to the game.
Twice as many.
Just here and so excited to be a part of the hype and a part of the buzz. And
like my dad. My dad came down. He's not going to the game. He just wanted to be a part of the party.
Yep.
Slam some beers and get out of here. Right?
Yes. Do we have another? I know we're supposed to talk football here. Do we have another injury report, or is there any new additions to the list?
No.
I wasn't being rude, by the way. I was just looking up when was the last time the Lions actually played at home, and I'm looking it up. December 29th, 2019 was the last time the Lions actually had fans here at the stadium. That's a long time ago, man. And that's
they lose that game?
Of course they did.
All right.
You know they play
They play in the Packers.
In every season, so.
Yeah, nobody in addition to the injury report. And I think the two big ones are Okwara.
Taylor Decker.
Well, Taylor Decker, Taylor Decker we knew was out. Taylor Decker we knew was out. But Anzarike and Okwara, those are the ones.
The new receiver, Calderell Hodge from Cleveland.
Yes.
I was hoping he'd play because I heard he's going to be dynamite on special teams. But Taylor Decker, we said it last week.
Yeah.
When he got that finger injury, that wasn't going to be a 1 or 2 gamer. He's gone for at least 5 weeks on IR.
He's gone for at least 3 weeks on IR.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little longer than that.
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah, it's a hand injury.
Technically 3, but he'll probably be out longer. And it's next man up. This is the National Football League, man.
Yeah.
Like, there are 32 teams that experience what the Detroit Lions are experiencing now, and to a lot worse degree. So, next man up, who's on your roster that can step in and step up and play well for this team to get a win against the 49ers? That's what they've got to do today.
That's what we want to see.
Yeah, it's easier said with better teams than teams that aren't as good. But like we said, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, they got rid of everybody that they wanted to get rid of, and they wanted to keep the integrity of what they want to move forward. So the guys that are stepping up are guys that they handpicked once again. So from their standpoint, like, this is who you handpicked. This is who you said, yo, you guys fill out what we want to do with our identity. So I'm expecting nothing but the same.
Good luck to the Lions. We've got. We're going to take another quick break here, but real quick before we do, because we started off this this talk break talking about you want to go home and just make the hottest food on a hot day. So the question is, and I know you guys are going to talk to Isaac here momentarily, but what is the best? Like, what's your go-to tailgate snack when you're out there and you've had like 7 beers? You haven't made it into the game yet.
It depends on what time of year, though.
You know what? It's pizza and wings. I mean, pizza, wings, and subs. I mean, I'll go through all 3 of them today.
But the reason I agree to a certain extent, but the reason why I say it depends is because if it's that later month where it's like that cold October, if it's November and December, I'm chilly. I'm a chili guy. I love chili. Like, I think it's the perfect time. But other than that, give me a bratwurst, man.
I was just going to say, that's what I'm going with, a bratwurst, a cheddar bratwurst.
Yep, bratwurst and chips.
That's the way to do it. So there you have it. Those are our tailgate snacks. We're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof here on 101 WRIF. It's the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show. You can also stream the Woodward Sports Show on our website at WRIF.com. Kickoff about a half hour away. We're coming back on 101 The Riff.
101 WRIF, Detroit's rock station.
Guys, we're a simple bunch. We like Sunday football on the field.
It is a new season, a new coach, a new attitude, a new regime, but an old staple. We are at Lady Jane's World Headquarters in Birmingham, Michigan. Another season of Making the Cut, where we check in with the pulse of the fans as we get set for the 2021 season. Come on.
Starting trouble?
All right, we got Richard in the chair first up. All right, Richard, how do you feel? Lions, new season, new regime, new attitude.
We've got a wide selection of
replacements. New regime until the Vortex
just $79.99.
There you go. All right, Chris, here we go. Season opener. You're starting to feel some,
EFB technology.
No, not at all. I think it's the beginning of yet another rebuilding decade. And the over-under from Vegas is 5. I'm definitely taking under. And the best thing about that is that by game 10, all the season ticket holders will be dumping their tickets for less than $20.
Conversation-based method teaches you real-life words
just turned 50, so I'm used to 5 decades of losing.
Lessons.
Ready for
You'll
another.
remember what you learned.
All right, let's find some positivity perhaps, can we? Oh, I got to get out of the chair first. All right, we got Walt here. Walt, I'm dying for some positivity here. Come on.
Language for life. Now
there's still hope for the Lions.
Look at this. Okay, now keep talking.
I'm glad they have a new regime. And it seems like the front office has their act together a little more aggressively than they have in years past. So I like the style. I'm hoping that they make it to a 6-6 record this year.
Look at this. He's got hope. He's got some cautious optimism. So we're ending there, guys. We're ending there. I don't want to press my luck. Back to you. Right back here on Woodward Sports. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards alongside. It is the Rock and Roll pregame show, the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show, 101 Riff. 101 WRIF, I should say. I'm getting used to it.
You're not an FM jock.
No, but I am willing to learn.
I always wanted to be a disc jockey.
You did?
I did. But I wanted to really spin the record back in the day. What did we listen to on our way in a little bit today?
We listened to Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem.
The top 40 countdown from 1978.
I was going to say, what year?
78.
Matt picks me up, and I said, is that like 3 or 4 minutes in, I said, is that Casey Kasem? And I looked at the dial, and Matt is like, this is America's Top 40 from 1978. And I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Then we put the riff on.
Yeah. And he says, before his family ruined him fighting over his body.
I know. Isn't that something?
God bless him.
something.
God bless him. But we are down here at the Tin Roof. It is a massive scene, a crowd of people, all wearing Honolulu blue and silver. And I shouldn't say all, because many, hundreds, if not a couple of thousand, are wearing the colors of the San Francisco 49ers, Jade. I mean, this is, I can't even believe it.
Hey, don't go to the bathroom. I just went to the bathroom, try to hurry up before I got back, man. And they're so excited to see fans and people, etc. They were like, "Where's Armani?"
No, they.
Where's Armani? I got swarmed. Everybody, where's Armani? Where's Ryan? Where's Ryan? So
Nobody
don't go out there, man. They'll be hawking.
Oh man, that's why I had to roll in with Maz today. I mean, Maz was the protector of all things.
Hey, listen, I got the 49er inactives. You're not going to know a lot of these names, but I'll give them to you.
2 of them we know.
Offensive lineman Aaron Banks, Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle, There's a name. Cornerback Emmanuel Mosley. Josh Norman, the cornerback, former Redskin. And running back, the rookie, Trey Sermon, who we thought was going to really step into the lineup and do some things, but I guess he's not ready yet. So you got Raheem Mostert, Colonel Mostert, in the backfield.
Now, Josh Norman, was that a expected inactive, Maz?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really followed them in the offseason here, but he's not the same Josh Norman as the guy that got all that money just a few years ago.
Yeah. And you see this so many times where an individual will, play at a certain level, and once they get paid, they tend to come off that level a little bit. And Josh Norman's one of those guys, and you saw him doing things. And I think it's even more than just coming off of being a Pro Bowl type guy, an All-Pro type guy. You start seeing him do things like when he was in Washington. You remember he goes over to the running of the bulls in Spain, and they see him dodging bulls. Like, I don't need you dodging bulls. I need you tackling wide receivers and tackling tight ends. So, he was the guy that was at one level and then started doing things that didn't involve football. And you've seen his career kind of, be on the downward slope the last couple of years.
Braylon, I'm going to put you on the spot
here. I'm ready.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there a player on this Detroit Lions team that really is kind of an under-the-radar kind of guy, but you know what? When it's all said and done, 5-6 weeks from now, Lions fans are going to be like, oh, I know that guy's name. Is there a guy on this team like that right now?
All right, now this is going to be a fair comparison in terms of how good this one individual is, but it will be a fair comparison in terms of trying to pronounce his name and how it started. Remember when a certain player got to the Milwaukee Bucks? No one knew his name.
Oh, yes.
They couldn't pronounce his name.
The Greek Freak.
He was the thin guy.
Yeah.
He was the thin guy from Greece. Then all of a sudden it was Giannis. And then it was Giannis, Antetokounmpo.
They just called him the Greek Freak.
And slowly but surely you start to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's going to be very similar as it relates to Amani Oruwariye. I keep talking about I'm high on him. I was always high on him at Penn State. I'm telling you, he's going to be that player. And now he has Aaron Glenn, of all people, as a not secondary coach primarily, but as a defensive coordinator, someone that can help the secondary. Like Amani Oruwariye, I'm telling you, man.
And on the offense, you like our rookie, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he's at USC. USC has produced a high caliber of athletic potential, talent. They've always had guys that were very fast, very strong, very fit, like knew the game. So I just think they're young players and they have good coaching. I think that's going to be the trademark of Detroit. We keep talking about identity. What's going to be the identity? The identity is that you have former players and very good coaches, coaching players and coaching them up. So I'm excited about it, man.
We got the Reverend of Roar down there walking with Terry Foster.
I love it.
Over there.
He just threw us another prayer. He just threw us another blessing.
I'm on St. Brown.
Now, has he been the chaplain for the Lions for the last couple of years?
Yeah, he's been the chaplain for all Lions fans, I believe.
We could bring Tim Tebow in for that.
Braylon, what do you think about Tyrell Williams? I mean, here's a guy that really wasn't a number one ever before.
Yeah.
Well, at least in the National Football League, I'll say that. Wasn't a number one, but he is here, signed, and expected to be this team's number one wide receiver. What kind of pressure goes with that?
I think sometimes players have number one potential, but they're not in number one spots, and they have to trot along until they get there. And I think, this is a situation as primed and prepped as any for him to be that guy and kind of break out. You look at myself when I was at Michigan, my sophomore year, nobody kind of knew who I was outside of being Stan's son. Marquise Walker was gone, David Terrell was gone, the wide receivers were gone. I had an opportunity to fight for a spot. I had opportunity, and the opportunity presented itself. And you know what? I kicked the door and I didn't look back. This is the same type of thing. There's no one there. There's no one there that can, necessarily hold him from the spot. There's nothing there to say, hey, you belong at a 2 spot. Right. You belong at a 3 spot. So if he's ready, man, and he wants to approach it that way, he can do the same thing, kick the door in and never look back. So I'm excited.
I got a guy for you guys, and we haven't talked about him yet.
Yeah.
It's the kid we traded for from the Broncos, Trinity Benson, wide receiver. They were very high on him, and the Broncos are loaded on offense, on the wide receiver. We got him for a 5th round and a 7th round pick. We got a 6th round back for him.
Yeah.
So Trinity Benson might be a guy that might be pushing for a spot here before you know it.
And he could be a training camp, just Detroit Lions fan. Well, I'm just saying, like, Tom Kennedy being inactive today is
But he was the fourth guy.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
As long as he's on the team, he's on the practice squad, but
Right.
he's on the real team.
Right.
I'm happy with him.
Yeah,
I'm happy for him.
No, I get it. I just I'm curious to see this team this year, and we are just less than about 25 minutes away from
Man,
kickoff
22.
at Ford Field. It is
22
incredible to see. And one of the fun things, too, we're going to be here at the Tin Roof for all Lions home games, Braylon. It's fun to see how people are dressed as we go through the weeks. We've got tank tops. We've got flip-flops. Come 4 or 5 weeks from now, maybe even 6, 7 weeks, we're going to have winter
Parkas.
hats and parkas. Not even going to know how to stay warm over here.
I think one of the best memes that I've ever seen, I think memes are still a thing, is I saw a meme that was related to Detroit weather, and this would have been 4 or 5 years ago, Ryan, and it legitimately had a guy in the meme. It had a guy with like a North Face jacket on with a hood, but he had a baseball cap on. The guy had on some shorts. Then he had on like some ankle socks, but then he had on like snow boots. You know, he had like one glove on one hand, and he had a golf glove on the other hand. And I think it's very symbolic of what Detroit does. Detroit does this. We're not going to let you know anything. You're just going to have to figure it out day by day.
Hey, I shovel sometimes snow in slides.
In shorts.
In shorts and slides, because it's always warmer after when the snow stops.
Right.
We go out there and we're like, hey, let's go.
One guy just walked by with his T-shirt and said, "Just one before I die."
Oh, my God.
Hey, say hi to our folks on YouTube. We're loaded, locked and loaded on YouTube.
Oh, man.
All our
I gotta
friends
go
are
there.
on there.
On
Let's get
YouTube?
some of that. Let's get some of that love, man.
Look at that, man.
We got our peeps on Twitter and YouTube, but YouTube's rocking it today.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's the riff, man. That's our partnership,
That's the
man.
power of the
That
riff,
is
baby.
the power of the riff, man. It's the rock and roll pregame. We got one-on-one riff with Woodward Sports, the bottom line, Tom, Maz, and Armani and Edwards, man. Like, we're just having a great time downtown. We're having a great time downtown at 10 Roof.
Guys, everybody on the YouTube chat right now, thank you so much for watching us. We can't thank you enough, and we invite you out here. What 101 WRIF and Woodward Sports has put together down here, this partnership that we have at the Tin Roof. There is no better party in the city of Detroit on Sundays than right here.
Every home game, we will be here for the Detroit Lions, and we'll be rocking it with the riff. Our away games are going to be at O'Toole's. That starts next Monday night. Well, we play the Packers at Lambeau Field. O'Toole's in Royal Oak. Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm excited about that, too. I used to live at the 5th, right there in Royal Oak, so I used to walk to
We had our original meeting at O'Toole's, didn't we?
We did.
That's where we met Braylon and saw what he was eating and stuff.
I wasn't eating anything
Remember
that
that?
night. You guys were eating.
I was drinking beer.
I was there.
I had some wings.
I was there.
This is so good. The wind is blowing. The band is playing. The people are drinking and eating and walking and singing their fight songs and all of that great stuff. It is sports. There is no better sports city in the country than the city of Detroit.
Just give us some winners, for crying out loud.
Well, we cannot complain about winners from the other teams. I mean, the Pistons have won. The Tigers have won. The Red Wings have given us everything they have.
Janet Jackson had this one song, and I think it went a little like this. What have you done for me lately?
Yep.
We need some lately stuff.
Speaking of the Pistons, congrats to Ben Wallace and Chris Webber last night, going into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
What happened, by the way, with the Fab Five thing? Did that ever take place?
Don't know.
We got to talk about that tomorrow on our show.
I was too busy watching the Michigan Wolverines run the ball again.
Woo!
Hey, I think they just ran it up the gut.
At that time, I was watching the Yankees and Mets from freaking Citi Field. Because it was 9/11, man. It was such a great feeling there. It was amazing. Right here, where Tigers are playing the Jays today. Miguel Cabrera trying to get another couple of hits. Get close to 3,000.
And we will pause 10 seconds to rejoin Jade and Riff. It is the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on Woodward Sports Network. Stay right there. Seconds away.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Yes, we're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof for the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on 101 WRIF alongside the Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards. We've got Tom Mazaway here as well, and we're getting close to game time, guys.
So excited, Jade.
Super pumped. You guys are still standing firm. Lions are coming home with staying home. We're at home with a win.
I'm not leaving.
I
man.
just, I can't go back on it until the first series of the game, the first quarter of the game, I may change my prediction at that point.
Speaking of which, though, what's so funny is that meme that goes around every year of the Lions, like it's that Kevin Hart meme where he's like super pumped to the first quarter, second quarter, and then by the end of it, he's making that face where he's like, what is going on? So hopefully under the new regime, we've got some spark.
And I hate to say this because professional sports is about wins and losses. Yeah. There is nothing else.
There's no more victories.
You don't get a moral victory in a professional sports league. But, and that is a big but, I want to see, they just don't have the talent this year to compete with some of the best teams in the NFL. They just don't. Yeah. And talent always wins. So what I'd like to see this year is a couple of wins for sure, but play hard, man.
Yep.
Play hard, play disciplined. Don't beat yourself. Be in every game.
Play smarter.
Exactly. Yeah. Play smart. Play like you're having fun. Play with energy and enthusiasm. All the things that remind you of, when you were a little kid, how great it is to play sports. And I just think if we can get that this year with this football team, I mean, it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, I don't think we're asking for much as fans. I think you're just asking for the effort to be there.
Right.
You're asking to see the effort. You're asking to see, less and less mistakes or mental errors or jumping off sides or dropping passes. You're just trying to see less mistakes made. You're trying to see the consistent effort. And I think in the beginning, that's all we really hope for. Am I correct, Ryan?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
That's all you want in the beginning is you want effort. You want to lapse on the mental errors, and then you build from there. That's what I'm looking for today, man. Decide to win.
I want to see Dan Campbell. I want to see a Dan Campbell team. I want to see a guy that would go to war with this guy. I mean, I love this guy. And I know he hasn't coached a game here in Detroit. Yeah. I just know that he is a winner, and I know these players are going to be behind him, and they're going to go to war with them. I mean, it's football war. That's what I mean by that.
Well, and what you brought up, saying that this team, we don't have the talent yet to compete with some of these others. And Steve Black, who's helping on our side here, brought up a good point. There's a lot of new quarterbacks on new teams. Stafford left.
15 of them.
He's with the Rams. And there's a lot of rookies.
Yep.
So how are we going to, what do you think that affects predicting how the season's going to go with some of these players?
Well, I think part of that, too, is looking where these new quarterbacks are starting at, looking at what they are starting with. For instance, you look at Matt Stafford with the Los Angeles Rams. Yes, he is a new quarterback, but Stafford is somewhat on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Not to mention, now you add Robert Woods. You add the defense of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. So it kind of depends on where these new quarterbacks starting at and what are they starting with.
There's 32 teams in the National Football League. 15 of them have new quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We've never seen that before in the NFL where so many teams have a different quarterback than the one they had a year ago at this same time. So I do think you have a league that is in flux. You have a league that's up for grabs in many ways.
I think we're going to see some crazy things happen.
Absolutely. That's exactly what my next point was going to be. You are going to see some wild and crazy things throughout a season, but that's part of being a fan, too, and that's part of the journey as well to enjoy it.
How about those rookie quarterbacks that are going today? You got, of course, Mac Jones going against Tua, Miami against New England. You got Zach Wilson
against
with
Sam
the Jets.
Darnold against his former quarterback.
Yep,
Stan Edwards, Braylon's dad, loves Zach Wilson.
I do too. So does a lot of guys on ESPN. A lot of the pundits. Dan Orlovsky loves him as well. If Dan likes him, I'm kind of digging on him. And then you got Trevor Lawrence, the #1 pick in the draft. He's going to have a day today against Houston. If you're going to start him in your fantasy team, my wife has him. I said, go ahead and start him. She hit me up right in the morning, by the way, Jade. Hey, should I take any of these guys out of my lineup? I'm like, no, just ride what you got.
And then the two rookie quarterbacks who I think everybody is most excited to see as well, or among those excited to see, aren't even starting today.
Yep.
And Trey Lance for the 49ers and Justin Fields of the
Look,
Chicago Bears.
There's a Justin Fields jersey right out there.
Oh, he's ready.
He is lathered up.
He is all lathered up in the Justin Fields love.
I like it too.
Just make me incredibly uncomfortable. So I got
it. Don't feel bad, Jay. They do that to me daily.
That sounds about right. It sounds about right. Obviously, the talk of Stafford has been huge. His move to the Rams. I know there's a lot of Detroiters just being on the air at Riff, and I talk about the Lions. And before he had made a couple of comments recently, I was like, I want to see him do well. I do want to see him do well. I want the Lions to beat the Rams when we play them. But I don't know, like what's the outlook? How do you think the Rams are going to do? They're ranked like second.
I think
a lot
it's
of
Super
people
Bowl.
are putting them up.
I think it's Super Bowl or bust for the Rams. I think they have been a team that's been to the Super Bowl before. They were a team that was in the playoffs a year ago, and they upgraded their position. What they think is an upgraded Matthew Stafford over Jared Goff for the ability to play for a Super Bowl. And if they fall short of that, I think the season is a failure for them.
See, I got to support my guy Armani with the Armani's on. So Armani's vision is very true. You look at it, and I wouldn't even have gone that far, a couple weeks ago before the Sports Illustrated spread or the ESPN spread. And like you said, a lot of talk that's coming out of that Los Angeles Rams camp, I would have said, at least I need a win in the playoffs, and I need to build on that. But I think based on the stuff that they've been talking, they've made it appear that Matt Stafford's the heir apparent in Los Angeles. Like, he was the missing piece. Like, he was the, he was the E equals MC squared for their formula for them to get over that hump and actually win. So the way in which they've talked about it, I'm now on the same page as Ryan. They need to win the Super Bowl. Like, they need to get there and at least play good, because they've done that to themselves. If they would have been quiet and not put this piece out and talk about the organic meeting, which was a lie, of Sean McVay and Andrew Woodward and Matt Stafford in Cabo, like, it just build it up and build it up. Like, I would have been all on board.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the Rams make it to the Super Bowl, and by some grace of God, the Lions are not. I would root for the Rams.
Sure.
I would say that.
No doubt. At that point, absolutely.
We're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof for the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show. My name is Jade, alongside Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway, and more. We're actually about to wrap things up, 10 minutes away from the start of the game. So we're going to take a quick break and come back with the Riff Zone, where we're going to rapid fire some questions and get some answers from you guys. We're coming back on 101 WRIF.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Am I good? What's up, you guys? Kennedy with Woodward Sports in the Cuervo Zone. I'm with the Reverend of Roar. I'm on Cuervo Tequila Sunrise, number 2 of the day. We're feeling good, aren't we?
Oh, we're doing good. It's game day. It's game time. That's how we step our rhyme. We're going over to Ford Field and to a team that will not yield. We're going to kick it. We're going to step it, because we're stepping it like their heads are on fire and their asses were catching. We're going to get there. We're going to have a good time. Don't worry. It's all right.
Can you guys tell he's friends with Crackman? How is he doing today, by the way? How are both of you doing?
Oh, we've been having a great day. Starting over at 124 Mount Calm, right behind the Fox Theater. We had a great party, and it still is wonderful. And we are still here. We're happy to be back, and it is time to get back on the field to a team that will not yield.
Awesome. As you can see, we're still having a bunch of fun here, even though we've got no Eastern market. Kind of a bummer, but we're making it work. Lions game day is always fun. So tell me, Reverend, what is your score prediction for today's game?
Oh, man, my name is the Reverend of Roar, and I'm always the one to give you the score, because I know when it comes true, we're going to beat those guys 34-32.
I like it. All right, there you go. 34-32. Braylon and Ryan, what do you think about that?
I love it, Kennedy. I love it. I think the Lions are going to win as well, and I think it's going to be a lower scoring game.
Yeah, for the Detroit Lions to win this game, it's going to have to be a low-scoring game. I said I only had them scoring 2 touchdowns on offense. I said I had 1 on defense. That's only 21 points. You had 2 field goals in there by Maz's guy over there, Zane or Siebert. I think it has to be low. I think it's 21, 2 field goals. You had that in there. I'm thinking 27, 20.
You know, we're always
21,
we spend
27, 21.
Hey,
we spend so much.
Over-under is 46.5 right now as we speak. 46.5.
So they
you know
agree.
the number's going to be right there.
Yeah.
So make your score around 46.5.
Well, one of the things I'm really interested to see is we focus so much on Jared Goff and the offense. Aaron Glenn, in the defense,
yeah.
I'm really curious.
Bro, they were last year.
I know, but what I'm saying is I'm really curious to see.
Is he a magician?
How he matches up, stacks up against one of the best play callers in Kyle Shanahan in the NFL. I mean, Kyle Shanahan knows how to call an offense as good, if not better, than just about everybody up there in terms of offensive play callers. At least a top 5 play caller, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's definitely a top 5 play caller. You look at what happened when he left. Look at what happened when he left Atlanta.
Yeah.
Look at how they fell apart. After a Super Bowl run.
Total debacle.
How they fell apart. So he knows what he's doing on the offensive side of things. And their defense, once again, led by Bosa, led by that linebacker core. I mean, this could be one of those things where you and I are hopeful for the win and we're optimistic, but it could very well be a blowout.
No doubt about it. We're gonna hop back on with Jade and Riff for the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show in just seconds. So we're gonna take a pause, and until we rejoin with them, we ask you to stick along with us.
Let's do it.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
There's going to be a lot of Stafford leftover jerseys.
But
yes,
unlike
it's about that time. We're going to be wrapping things up as the Lions about to take the field over at Ford Field. My name is Jade. We're broadcasting live here down at the Tin Roof for the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show. Here alongside Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, and the rest of the crew. So we are in the Riff Zone. That's what we're calling it.
Love it.
We're going to do some rapid-fire questions to wrap things up. So are you guys ready?
Here we go.
Have you seen the questions?
No.
Okay.
I have not seen the questions.
Okay, so here's question number 1. I hope this is like the name situation. I hope I don't screw it up. Will Amon-Ra St. Brown have more yards and touchdowns in his rookie season than Braylon did in his rookie season, which according to the stat we have online, 512 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I tore my ACL and I had staph infection. So, no, I did. I missed 4 games for the ACL at the end of the year, and then I missed 2 for the staph. So I missed 6 games.
I'm going to go under that. Can I go under that for him? I'm going to go under that.
I'm going over.
I would say he has more because they're a team that needs. They need wide receivers. They need him to step up, and they want him to step up. So I'm going to say he has more. I'm going to say he's floating around the 700 to 800 range.
Okay, I'm going to go over as well.
All right, so I'm the only one.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why you know him. You're my guy.
I know where my bread is buttered, Braylon.
All right, so we got to do this question, of course, since we're starting game 1. Lions season win total. How many games are the Lions going to win?
9 and 8. 9.
9 and 8.
9 wins.
Oh my God, you're nuts.
6 and 11.
Okay, I'm going 7 and 10.
Over under is 5. I'm taking 5 on the button.
Right on the number.
Right on the number.
I'm not mad at that. I gave him 1 win over the number. I gave him 1. 6 and 11.
Hey, every year I say the Lions are going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win the Super Bowl. So for me to say 9 wins is very low, very, very low for me.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Yeah.
Jose Cuervo.
All right.
It's part of the sponsorship, man.
When Dan came in, Dan Campbell and everybody, I was like, we're going 10 and 7, and
and then you saw them play in the preseason.
It made me uncomfortable. All right, will Coach Campbell get his first challenge correct?
Ooh,
yes.
Great question.
Yes, I think he gets his first challenge right. I think he's a very passionate, aggressive guy, and I think it bodes well for the NFL to give him his first one right regardless, because he's a personality for the NFL. So, yes.
I'm going to say no, just because the NFL is stupid that way.
They hate us.
They hate the Lions.
They're not fans. I'm going yes, though.
Okay.
I think he's going to.
Mark me down for a yes, Jade.
All right. Again, Ryan.
Jade, I'm the oddball out over here.
All right, first rookie quarterback to score a touchdown in the NFL this year. Is it going to be? This is multiple choice.
Pass or rush?
Trevor Lawrence. Oh, it doesn't say. So I guess
We'll pass or run.
We'll say pass. We'll say pass. We'll say pass.
Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, or Trey Lance?
Let's say Zach Wilson.
I say Trevor Lawrence because they play against Houston and Houston's
Good
trash.
call by you.
I'm going, and that's Maz's guy. I'm going Trevor Lawrence first touchdown. Zach Wilson better season. Trevor Lawrence first touchdown.
I'm also going Trevor Lawrence.
I'm sticking with Trevor. I told you he's a good play today.
Zachy, baby. Zach, come
Why
on,
you
help
by
me out.
yourself today, man? You by yourself.
That's okay.
Side note, I hope Zach is the first.
I know, right?
All right, then we got to ask who is going to win the Super Bowl?
The Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to go undefeated this year, 20-0.
I've heard a few people say that.
I think the other team is going undefeated because they're going to beat them, and I got the Chiefs.
So you think 2 17-0 teams in the NFL?
I think the Chiefs will go 17-0 for sure. I think the Bucks have the capacity.
They're going to lose today.
But won't get it done.
Can't wait to
Browns are
going to
beat them today.
Listen to this guy.
No, this show is, well, I played for the Browns. I was drafted by the Browns, so I still have a heart for the Browns. But this show, we're about logic. Yeah, we're about honesty. This is what we're doing. I'm going Chiefs.
Okay, so I actually polled some of the Riff staff, and no one had the same answer, but the majority was Kansas City.
Yeah.
So we're going, Riff is going
All
Kansas
right.
City.
Hey.
And I'll go Bucks.
I got Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and he goes out on a high note.
I like
That's
it.
gonna be,
I like
we'll
it.
see. I think
I
the
like
Packers
that
are
one.
gonna
I
have
like
an
that
interesting
one.
season.
He can follow in the footsteps of Jerome Bettis and Peyton Manning to call their
Say
shot.
goodbye.
To call their shot. I like it.
All right, 3 more over-under questions real quick. DeAndre Swift.
Is he playing?
80.5 yards rushing. Is he playing? He's
Yes.
Playing? Yes.
I know.
Over-under.
Over.
Okay.
Over.
Braylon, over.
Over.
Maz.
I missed the question.
DeAndre Swift, 80.5 yards rushing.
Under.
Over-under.
Way
I'm going
under.
Maz went under.
I'll say 30.
He's going 30. He's like really not believing in it.
Right.
All right, catches for
He doesn't play.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
55.
Like today?
Today.
2.
2? Okay.
6.
Oh, well, it's over under 2.5.
Oh, so I go under.
So you go under.
6.
You go over.
I'm going over.
Under.
Okay.
Under.
Going under. Okay. All right, then the final question. Another multiple choice.
We might
here.
have to tally these up next Monday night.
Steve's marking them down. He's got it for us. All right, what's going to be the loudest word or phrase screamed by Ryan during the game? Is it going to be no, throw the flag, the F-bomb, or yes?
I can already tell
Ryan,
you.
Is this Armani or?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That's his phrase. Come on. I'm going, come on.
He's going with come on.
Well, see, considering I'll have to watch the game with 2 kids in the house, if the
Come
kids
on.
weren't there, it would be the F word. I would just bleeping Lions.
Yeah.
But it will be come on.
I know my guy. Come on. Definitely come on.
I'm going to go with just a straight yes. I think something really good's going to happen. We are gonna
Okay.
get like a
I love it.
80-yard run.
I'm going to go with no.
There you have it. Those are
Are
our
you
questions.
kidding me?
Hey.
That's the week 1 questions in the Rip Zone here today. And actually, we're going to wrap things up because we are about to kick off over at Ford Field. My name is Jade. This is the DraftKings Rock and Roll pregame show on 101 The Rip. Ryan, Braylon, Tom, Steve, Adam, Amy Brooks back at the station.
Rip
You guys
Zone.
killed it today. We're going to have a lot of fun this season.
Oh, man, this is going to be great. Thank you so much, Jade.
Absolutely. Next week, we'll be down
Maz,
at
always a
O'Toole's.
pleasure,
And
Shout
so,
out, brother, to everybody
you
at
guys can get all the
Western.
details, WRIF.com, and take it away. We're going to rock some music right now. It's 101 The Riff, everything that rocks. Go Lions!
Go